There's that realization moment when you really get it that there never was a God, an external entity watching and judging you and waiting that somehow it's going to have an impact on you after death, when you die. When you just say it, you can tell that it's totally, made up, that it's completely about control. Control your behavior with the fear of death. And that somebody's been watching your whole life. And they're waiting. And when you get over there, oh buddy, boy, you're in trouble. Every little niche and knock-a-nooka you did in your life is going to cut you down to size. See, it's this crazy stuff. Made up. Totally made up. It's just so obviously social control. Well, after, there's a point where you just get it. You understand that. That's when you become really 21st century. That's one of them. That's one of those moments you can now say, that's 21st century. You're 21st century. You really get it. There never was God. Gods. Didn't matter if there were 50, 500, 3, 1, 210. Didn't matter. They're all made up. What there is what you are within you. All the time. That's as far as it goes. That's exactly where everything you see, do, hear, think, it goes no farther than within you. And what you do then is you're understanding that. And you're saying, oh, okay, well, what is going on inside of me here with all this stuff? And you go, a lot of thoughts. Oh boy. Yeah, a lot of thinking. Oh geez. Wow. Whew. Yeah, a lot of dreaming. Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Ooh, a lot of sex, yearnings. Oh God. Oh yeah. All of it natural stuff. That's what happens. You're alive. In this thing of a human body with this thing. Well, this is all that stuff is part of it alive. What's wacky, but is there to be seen and is clear to understand, is how, once again, all of those biases and prejudices and a lot of what you're thinking about is about things about pressure and fear and agitation and happiness and going to and doing, all bound up in stuff that you've been essentially indoctrinated about. From the time you were born, from your parents, your brothers and sisters, the families around you, the culture around you, and all that stuff, of all that dark age religion, but also military propaganda, indoctrination, school, education systems. All that stuff got into you. Socialization because of school. And so finally you're just running on this repetition of those inputs that have been indoctrinated into you and you think they are real. And so you pay attention to them, you think about them, you respond to things out in your world with all that same kind of stuff. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. And we're all made up. It wasn't there. Well, when you realize that one, that's another 21st century. Now you're 21st century. You got both of them. There never was a God. So then you look in within yourself and all that chitter chatter going on and every googie boogie, you see how all that is fabricated, has been made up. And then you go to realize, well, if that's not it, what else is there? And then you'll find it. You'll find out for yourself. And it is up to you, if you're interested, you make the effort. You do it. Nobody just tells you something, it flips on a switch and there you are. Oh no. And then at some point you're going to say, well, whoa, what's important about knowing that? Having that experience of this clarity, this open clarity that has no, edges, boundaries. It's there. It's awake, you could kind of say. But it's like air. It's really like nothing. And it's like nothing's there. And yet, and you get it. From direct experience. And then, okay. See for yourself. Now, one thing it's good for, we might as well tell you, as you can imagine, when you've cut through all that chitter-chatter, and you're thinking, that's all stuff is made up. I've been worried about this and behaving like that and doing things like this by systems and culture that's all around you, no matter where you are. And you just kind of going along with those, created boundaries, kind of fabricated things. And then you cut through and you see, well, that's just, all that stuff's made up, and there you are. Well, you see clearly, okay, yeah. Say the same things, but without all the distraction. Well, what do you think happens when you die? You can just see, if you're just playing out that everything you're thinking is just a fabrication of this life from your culture, your family, your friends. It's just going on in this life. Well, then hell, when you die, you're not walking around in this life. You're not limited to in this life, right, anymore. It's gone. So all that chitter-chatter about this whole life naturally just kind of vaporizes. When you die, you're not still wondering if there's a sale on down at this local store. You don't care about if you're going to find that new pair of shoes on sale today somewhere. Those things totally vaporize with the body. By being on here, right here, in this culture. Poof. And then pops up your old friend that you took the time to get familiar with. That clarity itself. Because it didn't have any attachments to this. It doesn't have any thinking. It doesn't have any boundary. See for yourself.